really it's just first thing getting up in the morning and just, I mean, it legit, there's a lot of work, but it never feels like work. I think that's by far the most exciting thing of whether if I just have to do like phone calls all day or cold calls or a bunch of sessions, like it's all the same, but it's all exciting knowing that this is all something that me and my business partner created. So it's like, honestly, it's all exciting just getting up in the morning and not having the feeling of like, "Ugh, I'm going to a dead end job. I hate my boss. I hate all this." So I think the most exciting thing is just knowing that where I'm going is like our thing and we're just
Building
continuing to
it.
grow it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So feel me when I bring it, sing it loud. I'm from the loot and I'm proud, run a mile for the cause. I'm right.
Hi guys, it's your girl Nakama, your favorite Jew from the Lou. Welcome back to my podcast. And today I am so excited to have Kramer Eggemeyer. I said your last name right.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's like my new tradition whenever I'm like interviewing people where I'm like, oh shit. I had one guest who I forgot their name.
Mhm.
And so I didn't introduce them until like later in the episode. And then I'm like, I think this is her name. And then I said it out loud and she like rolled with it and it was her name. I was like, thank God.
Oh.
That was rough. That was
I've definitely done that a couple times with some clients in Dallas, like this one girl in particular, Taylor. So my brother initially did like her consultation and he passed her off to me and completely blanked on her name. Trained her for a month, didn't know her name.
no way.
So we got around to, in order for me to like figure her name out, kind of like thing that you said before, where it's like, oh, if you forget, ask what their like name is, like
Last
last
name.
name,
Yeah.
and then they say it, you're like, oh, I already forget how that went. But you get it regardless. I ended up getting like her last name, and I looked up in the system, was like, oh, that's right.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I was like,
Smart.
Taylor, that's right.
Just so everyone knows, the trick is if you forget someone's name, you can just be like, hey, what's your name again? They're going to get all insulted and be like, what? You don't know my name? And then you say, no, of course I know your name. I meant your last name. But they'll say the first name first and be like,
Right.
Taylor, of course I come on now. It's been a month. You think I would have forgotten your name? Like how awkward would that be? So it's just great. But the nice thing is being a barista, I
Mhm,
really try to remember people's names too because it makes them feel special.
mhm.
And I forgot a guy's name and he said the kindest thing. He was like, I mean, honestly, that's on me to be more memorable to you. If you don't remember my name, like,
Oh yeah.
you know. I was like, yeah, it is on you. That's right. I do see a lot of people. That's your business. But so talking about how you and I met, we met, I was walking through, I actually think it might have been, it was right before Africa. And I had been thinking about switching gyms. I had found your gym and like CrossFit Ready to Live earlier this year in January. And right now it's currently September. And I knew I wasn't switching before Africa. I'm like, this is too much. There's too much going on. This is too much drama for me. Yeah, because your gym is like your third space in a sense, Like, even if you don't know the people, you know the vibes.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know where all the
Mhm.
machines are. You're like in your flow, and it's a vibe.
Yeah.
But I also just thought it was a cool space. And I realized that I was going to Lifetime, which is like the bougiest gym that you could possibly go to in St. Louis,
Mhm.
which is very much my personality. But I really only was using the actual gym part. I wasn't using any of the perks, so it didn't make sense.
Mhm. It's like pay for the extra amenities and not really utilize it. And
And I'm turning 30 in April, and I was on their junior membership, and they were gonna like up the payment even more.
senior membership.
Yeah, yeah. They're like, "You're a liability now. Everything's downhill from here." And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, no, this is too much for me." So I remember I had an event with Babes in Business, and I was like their coffee sponsor, and I knew from Sam Schaefer that he had gone to your gym, and he's like, "Yeah, they have the little K-cups there. You should see if you can, like, drop by some of your coffee sometimes, see if people like it." And I had extras, so I came by and I just dumped it in the bin. I was
Yeah.
like, "Great, people will try it. It's gonna be great." And then, Mel was there, and he was just like, "Yeah, you should totally join." And you were training someone, and I was like, "I'm not interrupting them." He's like, "Go, it's fine, it's fine." And yeah, I talked to you right before I left for Africa. Yeah, I was totally dissociating when we met, but
Oh yeah, but it's crazy. It's been that long already too.
yeah, it's been a few months.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's flying by.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, did you know Cody beforehand too?
Yeah, so yes, Cody, I DM'd out of nowhere because Sam was my initial introduction to the gang.
Right.
He was actually Sam was the first guest who I ever messaged who I didn't know at all. Someone had just been like, "There's this really cool guy. He has a great story. He loves to talk.
Yeah.
You should connect with him." So I reached out to him and he said yes. And I was like, "Wait, that's so cool. A stranger wants to be on my podcast." Then we met and he's like a connector. So he started introducing me to everyone. He wanted me to get Josh on.
Mhm.
But Josh was like, "Not until you take a class."
Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you end up doing one though, right?
He did. I've taken multiple since then, which I love them. They're great. So, and sometimes now that we're friends, if like it's the end of the workout and they're all hanging out, like, can I just join? Can I just like slide under the radar, please?
Was that like your first time doing a ice bath?
Yeah, it was. The first time I did it,
Hmm.
um, well, here's the thing. I have a control issue, which is something that I've learned from Kilimanjaro. But first, I learned that with like the ice bath experience, because when you get into a cold plunge, it's just first your brain's all like on adrenaline, like, yeah, I just did the thing. And then when you realize that there's like 3 more minutes and you can't get out,
Hmm.
it's like shit.
Yeah.
My body
I'm
freaked
stuck.
out. Like I full on like the first time full on panic just everywhere.
Hmm.
And then doing the breath work really helped. And like that just totally changed like my whole mentality around breathing and life and how to handle situations because like I think sometimes we can like our brain can trick us thinking that we have things under control. And then when you're in that moment, like in the cold plunge, and you're like, no, definitely not in control. Like I need to be in the situation that I'm very uncomfortable in, but learning to like quiet your mind for real.
Right. Hmm.
And then when the hyperthermal layer like goes over your body, and then you're like in an ice bath, but you're feeling warm, and then all of a sudden you're calm, and they're like, "Okay, time's up," and you're like, chilling.
Yeah, and it's like that last little bit flies through.
Yeah. And then every time there's still that initial shock. But
Yeah.
this past week, I did a glamping trip and it's Lost Hill Lakes.
Hmm.
And the girl who runs it, Sam, she got trained like with Josh and everybody there. So
Hmm.
she's kind of like an extension under
Oh,
like their
nice.
umbrella.
Hmm.
And so she had to go to a dentist appointment. So she went through the first round with me. And then I did the second round by myself, which I thought was like pretty cool.
Oh yeah, especially if you can get through with no coaching and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
I can do this.
Yeah. That was pretty sweet. So
Yeah, because like that first 30, 45 seconds is like there is no control, then you're trying to regain it. And then it's like the last
yeah.
2 minutes, 2 minutes, 15 seconds is like you have that control. And that's weird where you have like that Zen clarity, and then when you get out, you have like the euphoric feeling. I love it.
Yeah. So to bring all this like full circle,
Hmm.
there's so many questions that I have for you. So one of them is that the fact is I know like when we had done like our little like coffee pregame beforehand,
Hmm.
I you had mentioned that you were really into like stoicism
Hmm.
and like also you're an entrepreneur.
Hmm.
And it was so funny because all entrepreneurs and business owners, they do this thing that I don't know if they realize that they did, but you did when we first met,
Hmm.
where I think I was complimenting you when you were like by your desk about like how awesome it is that you brought like your dream to life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is so great. And you're like, yeah.
I'm like, it's okay. I mean,
No, it was the breath. It was
yeah.
that breath where you're just like, ooh. Because like I think sometimes business owners are so hard on themselves when they're thinking about that laundry list in their head of like what still needs to be done. Because yes, you open and it's functioning, but you're like, first of all, how do we keep the lights on? But
Right.
then also
Hmm.
like all the things like it may not match your vision, but I don't know what your vision is.
Right.
All
Yeah.
I see is a gym that like you actually made a reality because you were a trainer first.
Right.
So maybe let's go back to the beginning of how you got into fitness.
So when I first got into fitness, I was about 13, 14 years old. Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think that I was like that young, but it was more of a my brother. So in high school, he ended up like really hyperextended his knee, so he tore his ACL, MCL, LCL, strained his PCL, and after he did that, he had like a year and a half recovery for playing football. But then after he got back from that, he started really getting into like working out, taking care of himself, bigger, faster, stronger. So then me being the little brother that I am, I was like super annoying. I'm like, let me go with you. I want to do everything. He's want to do stuff with his friends. I'm like, no, let me go. I want to go. Like, and he's
The age gap.
so he's 7 years older than me.
Oh, wow.
So
Definitely that fixation. Yeah.
yeah, so definitely like he's in high school, 15, 16, trying to go do stuff. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, Mom, let me go with him. Like, I want to do all this. And
Yeah.
um, but anyways, he ended up doing that in football, and then he started into working out. So then me being who I am, I'm pestering my mom, be like, hey, tell him to let me go with him, all this stuff. And he starts taking me, then I end up loving it. Um, so I started going in like seventh grade, seventh, eighth grade, something like that. Um, so then whenever I get into high school, I end up convincing my dad, like when it's like late at night, because I mean, small town Chester, there's not much going on, but I was like 15 years old and I convinced my dad to let me take the truck at night to like go to the gym, and he's like, well, just drive like you got sense, nothing's gonna happen. I was like, cool. Then I was like, ever since he took me that day, fell in love with it.
That's so great. I feel like for like boys especially, they just have so much energy.
Oh yeah.
Having some outlet where they can just like almost in a structured way.
Hmm.
And then also I feel like little boys also like are so into like their little puzzles and like figuring things out. That's why they love
Yeah.
video games. That's why
Hmm.
they love all those things.
Hmm.
So then I feel like there's always this joke that I've seen like so much on like Instagram and TikTok where it's like gym bros are really like the biggest nerds ever.
Hmm. Yeah.
You know, because there's so much like science and like stuff figuring it out,
Right. Hmm.
between like nutrition and working out.
Yeah. And there was a whole like competitive aspect too, because me and all my friends, we've always played baseball, basketball, football. So it's also like competitive thing. Like we start to work out, then we're like flexing on our other friends and stuff, like just being dumb like teenage kids. Um, then bragging to one another, then they start getting into it, and it's kind of like we're constantly having like competitions with each other.
Right.
So it's just kind of like endless cycle of it. Then hell, I mean, it lasted quite a long time. It still has lasted. So
Right. Well, I heard this quote recently, and it's funny because some people were just like, this doesn't make sense, but it kind of does, where it's like, don't love your job, job your love.
mhm. Yeah, that was exactly it. Like,
Yeah,
'cause I never knew what the hell I wanted to do because like dad's in construction, mom did like kind of like caregiving, not like at nursing homes, but she'd kind of do stuff like in people's houses. And
that's really hard.
yeah,
She chose to do that.
I applaud her for
She's
it.
a special
She's
soul.
oh 1000%. She's like obviously I'm biased. She's like sweetest woman to walk the earth. It's
Yeah.
unreal. But then like dad was in construction, so I was like, oh, maybe I'll do that. I'll get into heavy equipment operating, and then um, kind of had an interest in it. But then since my brother took me to the gym, I was like, nah, this. I want to do something with this. So then he went to SEMO, went for exercise science, and then I just ended up following him basically. Because then I went to SEMO, then out to LA, then Dallas, like just kind of following him.
Crazy.
So
What took him out of Chester though?
he was like he never really wants to like kind of like be home or be around the people just like small town politics, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Um, so his was always like the dream was like going to LA, making it, and like
That's crazy.
like
LA is really hard to make it in any capacity.
yeah, yeah. So a town of 4,000 to going out to LA, like it's insanely different. Um, but then he ended up getting a personal training job at Equinox out there, which is like super prestigious.
Yeah.
It's like the lifetime here. Um,
On steroids.
right, yeah. Yeah, to where it's like all the sessions there are like $150 an hour. Like it's just insane. So he started becoming a personal trainer there. then he got moved, like he got promoted to Dallas, became like a manager of personal trainers there, and then he went back to LA because like the same gym he was at, they wanted to make him a manager there. So when he was there for a little bit, he ended up having a business partner that he met, and then they started their own gym out there, and that's was like perfect for him because like LA's like the dream for him. So him going out there ended up like paving the way for me because then I did my internship out there with him, got to learn under his wing and everything. So like I moved out to LA, then we went back to Dallas for like our second location, and it's been awesome ever since.
So the question that I'm curious about is like, what, I mean, obviously there's pros and cons to both, I'm sure, but like, what is this like driving desire that so many trainers have to like start their own gym?
Well, I think it's depending on the structure. I think a lot of personal training is like have like an entrepreneur kind of setup, but it depends if you're independent or if you're under like a corporate gym. But it's I think kind of people falling in love with what they do, but there's like a small percentage of people that kind of want to go do their own thing. Some people just want to do like the training, and that's kind of it for them, which is fine. You can make good money doing that. Um, but I think it's some of the people want to go start their own thing, just want a little more out of it. Um, but it's
To building something of your own.
yeah, and it's being on this side of it, it's way different than like the personal training and managing my own clients and that. It's like a whole different realm. So it's like if you're not 100% into it, I don't recommend it, honestly.
There was another trainer I was talking to recently, and she was saying how like she's noticed that a lot of times when people end up going to start their own gyms, they end up like almost hate gym life and all of that.
Thousand
Do
percent, yeah.
you have that experience? Do you struggle with that?
I've had it quite a bit, yeah. Um, I think it's more or less one of those things where like I don't hate the gym, but it's more of ones where like if you're doing something you love, um, like next where you hate, it's kind of like basically if you're going to bed at night and like you're eating in bed, you always have the association of instead of going to bed to sleep, every time I get in bed, I start craving snacks and like you end up kind of going away from like this is the purpose of laying in bed. So for me, the gym kind of became instead of being a place where I work out, train with clients and stuff, it becomes this management thing. So then the working out kind of is in like the back of my mind. So it's kind of hard to get that disassociation with it. So like when I was in LA and Dallas, I actually got memberships at other gyms
Hmm.
just so like when I would go there, it's like, okay, I'm here, cool. I can work out. I
You
don't
can
have to worry
just be
about
a person working out. You don't have to
yeah,
worry about like, oh, this is off. This needs to be taken care of.
yeah.
I don't like what they're doing, something like
hmm Yeah, because like at RFT, it's like I'll start to work out. Someone comes in, obviously I'll take care of them and everything, but it's like I can be on one of the adjustable benches and I feel like something's little wobbly, and I'll kind of look at. It, I'm like, oh, that needs fixed. It's like I need to
oh,
tighten
and
that
there's that responsibility.
100%.
You're just going to
hmm
the gym, you're like, someone's not doing their job.
Yeah, I'm just like
Oh,
someone's got to fix this. This
I'm
looks
like,
like
that sucks. Like,
yeah.
that's
So
so
then it's like I
funny.
start with one. I start to go down the line. I'm like, you know what? I better check out the leg extension. I better check out the hack squat, and then
Mhm.
by the time I know it, it's 45 minutes later. I'm like, well, workout's not really there.
I thought about this too with like with for me, like creating my coffee shop. Because like for me, I went through this whole transition about, yeah, January 2024, so almost 2 years ago, where I was like, don't like what I'm doing right now. I have this like burning, like I could only be a consumer for so long, and then I need to get like my hands dirty and start creating. That's
Right.
why I'm doing this too, because like I
Right.
love listening to podcasts, and I'm like,
hmm
I just want to do it, it's fun. And there's so much to this that people don't realize, even with like this, like editing and like the background with like the sounds,
hmm
finding guests, all
Getting
these
getting the
things.
lighting right and
Oh, oh my gosh. Like even let's say for example, like the glare, learning that I should like close the blinds behind you, learning curve,
yeah.
just little things like that. Um, but with the coffee shop, it's like part of my mind is that I'm creating a space that I would love
hmm
to hang out in. It's a coffee shop that I haven't found that I'm looking for as a
Right.
consumer. Like this is a place that I want to hang out. But I also know that like when you're the one, even just working as a barista, like it's a totally different experience than just like going to a coffee shop.
Right, yeah. Yeah, there's different levels at each little piece you might be at. There's totally different levels for wherever you're at.
But what's kind of fucked up about being like an entrepreneur is that like when you're thinking about all the hard things and all the responsibilities and like maybe you're feeling like overwhelmed,
Mhm.
you're like, but I wouldn't change it for anything.
No, no, not at
It's
all.
so messed up. Like you
Yeah,
talk to anyone, they're like, wow, that sounds really hard. Like maybe you shouldn't do it. And you're like, wow.
yeah,
It's like this thing where once you start it, you can't stop.
yeah. It's like I'm not just gonna stop. It's like even if I start complaining about it, whatever. It's like if anybody suggests like, well, what if you stop? I'm like, well, that's dumb. Like, no, I
The
would never.
empowerment too of like having a struggle or a challenge and then figuring out the solution and like there's plenty no one man's an island, right? Like there's no such thing as like creating something yourself. There's so many people who help you and guide you, and even it could be closer buyers like who you may never see again, and then sometimes it's like central people who are always there to support you. But I just think that once you start creating something, it's really hard to just going back to being like an employee
Yeah,
for other people. Because even now, working as a barista, I'm like, just doing my time, just doing my time. Because this isn't my coffee shop. So I gotta like,
and you still have those little thoughts. You're like, I would do that.
I would do that very differently, but I'm like, it's okay. You know what? That is education too, though. Like that's important as well, which is why I wanted to get that experience from the ground up, working for different coffee shops, seeing what I like and don't like, pros and cons to everything. I'm sure I'm gonna mess up.
Yeah, and that's where I'm a big believer in that too. Of like, if you're gonna like start something that you should know every little bit of it, like
Hmm.
even with the gym, like cleaning the equipment or like ordering the equipment, fixing stuff. Like, I feel you should know every little level. So when you go to hire people for that, you kind of have a little bit of background of it and some understanding of if you're giving someone like a hard time, but you don't actually comprehend what's going on, then it's hard to get that understanding
And how do
going
you
on
get
there.
solutions if you don't really know what the problems are or how to
Right.
solve them?
Yeah.
Um, and also I think there's a respect level from your employees that they know that anything that you're asking them to do, you can and would do. It's just not the most efficient use of your time. So
Right.
you're
Exactly.
delegating it.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah. So that was like, it's also like the big thing, like in the beginning is, like it'd be nice to delegate stuff, but it's more or less I have to do it in order to like save money, labor costs, whatever. Yeah. So then it's kind of getting to that point of like, having too much pride in doing stuff, and then now that we're getting to like a pretty good point, it's like me trying to delegate stuff. I'm like,
Is that
mm,
hard?
yeah, it's kind of I don't know if it's like a control thing of like I'm afraid if I pass it off, it's gonna get done not the way I like it and stuff, but at some point, gotta let go of some of it.
Will say though that like it's important finding the right people because there is that fear of like are no one's ever going to care about it as much as you. They're just not because it's your baby. But at the same time, if you can find people who almost buy in as leaders in their own right, then they're going to take that pride in their work.
Right, exactly.
So then, yes, they might do it differently than you, but also from your perspective, being like the leader on top,
Right.
giving them that space to figure it out for themselves. It's really cool to watch people be like, you know what? Wouldn't have done it like that, but it's working.
Yeah, and they might figure out a better way that I would never even thought of,
Yeah.
you
And
know?
sometimes it's not even better, it's just different. And you're like, okay, I really just don't have the capacity to do that too.
Yeah. And I mean, if it works,
If
then
it works, it works. As long as
mhm,
it's not ruining the business or doing something bad, like,
mhm. Yeah, as
have
long
at
as
it.
it's just progressively like stacking wins on top of each other, like
Yeah.
it's always good.
Yeah, it's interesting because I just had lunch 2 weeks ago with my first boss out of college. I don't know if you knew this, but I worked corporate for 8 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was a graphic designer.
Hmm.
And so when I lost my last job, that was when I was like, should I apply? Our life is short, and should I just figure it out? Because I'm a big believer, like, I don't believe in job security, I believe in God security. I've just seen that way too often. Like things can change. You can't rely on people. And if you're meant to have money, you're going to have it regardless. So you might as well do what you love.
Right,
And
exactly.
life is short
Hmm.
and I could die tomorrow. So I might as well just. live it.
Yeah, there's no point in waiting for it, you know.
No one's gonna hand it to you too. So I met up with her and she was like, but you were so good. Like, why did you leave? But like listening to her journey, because like I haven't, oh God, I don't think I've talked to her. I'm 29. I don't think I've talked to her since I was like 23. So it's been like 6 years. So in the course, hearing how, because we both left that company because it got bought out. And so hearing how her career has gone on, it's like, I don't want that for myself. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah,
was just like, it was so reaffirming for me to hear where it's like, I think a lot of people want the safe jobs, and there's nothing wrong with that. We need people who want the safe jobs
right.
to help the economy, to help life happen. But it's like, if that's not for you, that's okay too. But the hardest thing sometimes I think is that, like, until you get to a space where it sounds like you're starting to get to that space where it's like all starting to kind of make sense, all the hard work, all the maybe like personal things in your life that you had to push aside to like make it be where it's at right now.
Right.
Now
Hmm.
you're kind to like maybe find a little bit more balance.
Right. Hmm.
But until that point, I'm sure, did you have that experience, I should say, of friends or family kind of being like, what are you doing?
Oh, 100%. Mostly my friends, family, they completely get it because my dad's the same way. He's always busting ass, like trying to. I mean, he's supposed to retire in January. We'll see if that actually happens, but um, family super understanding. Most friends are, not all of them, super understanding because like even was that last weekend, 2 weekends? Yeah, 2 weeks ago, I went to Indianapolis, and that's like the first trip I've taken in like 6 years. Like,
Whoa.
so it's like with, well, besides a corporate trip with the other gym I was at, but it was forced. So, um, it's even stuff like that because like I knew I wanted to start my own gym, but it's like I always feel like I don't deserve like a vacation or go somewhere until like I'm in a comfortable spot. It's where it's like I don't have to be there all day every day. Like I feel like until I get to the point where I can step away, then I'm like, okay, maybe I can enjoy life a little bit. Which I know I should anyways, which I do, but I feel like mentally I have to be to where I'm like comfortable or a good spot, and I'm like, okay, maybe I deserve a little bit, you
Yeah.
know. And I think it's also just a part too where it's like I don't know if I'd say it's having too much pride, but more of it's where I'm just like, I don't deserve this. I haven't done anything, even though I've done like a lot when I look back and reflect. Um, but it's until a point where I can make sure other people are getting paid good, and then Jim's doing well. Then I'm like, okay, I can step back. I can delegate a little bit,
Yeah.
and I don't know what that point is, but it it's getting closer. I know that.
I think I'm a big, what's the word? I think words matter. Okay. So where your intentions are and your energy is, I think is very commendable. I think you're coming from a place of like a combination of like being an incredibly hard worker and then also being
Hmm.
super humble. So that's not a bad quality at all. That's awesome.
Hmm.
And I think it's gonna do you really well. And I think that's probably why you're at where you're at,
Right.
because I
Hmm.
feel like I've met a lot of trainers over my course in the gym life who have been like, yeah, I want to have my own gym, but I don't know many of them who've actually done it. You know what I mean? So it's like the fact that's why when I met you and you had done it, I was like, hell yeah, that's so cool. That's awesome, you
Yeah.
know?
Then I was like, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You're like, yeah, because you're thinking that yeah is so heavy because it's like everything that it took to get you where you are right now and everything that you still want to do. But
Is
like,
like mentally mapped, but I'm just like, we're not there yet.
I think perhaps this is like the polarity between like a masculine and feminine perspective because like a masculine is always in that energy of earning and achieving. And then, especially, I think once you start to really work hard, you kind of attract or seek out people who are doing the same thing, if not better.
Right.
So then you're no longer comparing yourselves to what the masses are doing. You're comparing yourself to all the amazing people who you aspire to be like.
Right, exactly.
It's kind of like when I first started going to Lifetime, for a minute there when I was working corporate, I was trying to be those people who like went to the gym before work.
Right,
So
yeah.
I was
So like
like,
the 5
I
a.m.ers.
was a 5 a.m.er for a little bit. And I remember being like, waking up in the morning, the sun wasn't even out yet. Like like the dog walkers aren't out yet, you know? And I'm like driving and like you see maybe a few like semis on the highway, but I'm like, hell yeah, look at me, I'm a winner. And then I go to Lifetime and I'm like, motherfucker, I'm like, this is why they're all rich. Like this is so annoying. Like you're a winner until you join the room of winners, then you're like, I'm nobody.
Yeah,
It's
right.
like,
Right back at ground level.
and I think that's what happened for me with like Kilimanjaro too, because like I've had a lot of people be like, it's funny because when I interviewed Cody talking about his Kilimanjaro experience, and when I interviewed Sam talking about when he climbed the mountain too, I was like, God, like climbing a mountain, like what a cool thing. And like now that I've done it, I'm like, Trevor's like, why are you so chill about it? I'm like, first of all, I was not in great shape. So I was like, I was the slowest one in my group, and I got everywhere. So to the point, I don't know if I told you this, but to the point where like summit night, everyone leaves at midnight, right? I needed a little TLC. First of all, by day, it was like a 7-day track. By day two, I already had one of the guys holding my backpack for me. So any videos that you see me holding the backpack was for the gram, and then I handed it right back to them. I was like, needed to drink water. I was just like, I even it. Like I can't. It's too much for me. So they all decided they were very concerned about me, and I only found out afterwards that actually nobody thought I was going to make it to the summit.
Really?
Yeah, but I'm very stubborn. But I should say tenacious. Tenacious is better. I'm very tenacious. Words matter. And I've got grit. And I was like, it was also just so embarrassing to like not do it. Too many people knew about it. And also I've been doing it for charity, so it's fundraising. So all the hard-earned money of all those people who believed in me, I was like, what, I'm not gonna make it?
Right.
Not an
I'm gonna
option.
waste their money with this, and
And I'm here in Africa. When am I gonna be here again? Maybe never. Am I gonna absolutely not. I will die before I don't get to the summit. And I lost 2 toenails, so it's great. But when I was like, I had to leave at 10 p.m. I left 2 hours before my whole group. Okay. I was the first one on the mountain that night.
Mhm.
So people talk about that experience of like seeing like the snake lights of all the other climbers ahead of you. Nobody, no one was there. I was by myself. Well, and my guide and the guy who was holding my backpack. Shout out to Ellie. But when I finished 4 hours after my group, even though I started 2 hours before them. So I was hiking from 10 p.m. till 7:30 a.m. And I
Wow.
was one of the last people to get to the top of the mountain. Even though one of the girls who I climbed with, she said when she passed me, she was like, I've never seen someone with such a stubborn, determined look on their face, but also determined to do it at your pace. Because I was hallucinating the whole way up. Like Ellie got me up there just because he was like, I was like, I'm so tired, Ellie, because the side effect that happened to me was I kept wanting to fall asleep.
You get like elevation sickness at all?
Not that I'm aware of.
Hmm.
My nose was kind of bloody though, which was a weird thing. But as I was climbing up the mountain, I was just like, Ellie, I just need to sleep like 2 more minutes. Like every time there was like a rock, he was like, just climb to that rock. And then there was a point when it was just getting like there was no rocks to sit on, so I would just plop down in the middle of the truck and just let people climb around me. I was like, I choked. It was just, and I just remember like hearing people woo at the top, and I was like, I want to woo. I want to woo. I was like, I wanted a picture with my coffee bag at the top of the mountain. I was like, I'm gonna do it for the crowd. So shallow. Got me there. But I remember people were like, that's so awesome that you did it. And I was like, I get to you. It seems awesome. And like, yeah, maybe majority of people, like I didn't realize it was a bucket list thing because I don't have bucket lists. I have ideas and I do them. So I didn't realize that so many people dreamed of doing Kilimanjaro and like trained for years. And I just was like, figure it out.
Yeah, you're like,
Um,
that's a hill. I can
yeah.
go
I was like, it'll be
it.
fine. You know, they said pole pole, like slowly, slowly. I'm like, that's great. But then in Swahili, there's also like haraka haraka, which means like fast. And I told them day two, I'm like, this is not pole pole. This is haraka haraka. I'm like, I'm just a girl. I can't do this. But yeah, it was great. But It's just that you're with all these people from all over the world. And it's like all kinds of ages, all kinds of fitness levels. And it's just you're with winners, right? You're with all these people who are climbing a mountain. So you're not thinking about all the people who aren't climbing the mountain. You're just thinking about all the people who are doing it and who are doing it better.
Right. With a shared
So
common goal of
getting to the
obviously getting
top.
to the top. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. So I think that it's kind of like the same thing with like business too, where, I'm sure it's the same thing, but going back to what you were saying about deserving a vacation.
hmm
Now, to be fair,
hmm
I am a woman, so that female like energy perspective is very different. And then also I am the youngest of three, so I'm definitely a little bit of a spoiled brat. Um,
Yeah.
and princess level because I got two older brothers. Like the whole concept of having to deserve something, I'm like, I deserve it because I'm alive. Like, what do
I'm
you mean?
here.
I
I
have
have
to earn it? Absolutely not. Like,
yeah.
my presence means that I've earned everything good in this life. Um, yeah, but I understand like wanting to put in the work and make sure it's in a good place before you just like take up that's responsible,
Right.
But at the same time, like that's something that I'm curious about navigating because I feel like being an entrepreneur is such a masculine energy in a certain sense. There's this book, it's called Taming Your Alpha Bitch. And it's basically for women saying like not too long ago, women were not in the workforce. So the only role models that we have are men who have been successful. But the problem is that when a woman emulates the energy of a man, she comes across as a bitch,
Yeah.
right? It's not the same energy dynamic. So it's like this book talks about how you can still be a leader and still accomplish with while being in your feminine. Like there's power in that.
Right.
So that's something I'm learning to navigate, which is interesting.
Yeah, so I guess I haven't really thought about that where some like the earliest people are emulating like, well, men.
Yeah.
I've met a couple people like, "Ooh, she's kind of a
No,
bitch," but
it's true, right? And it's like, but if you think about it,
Mhm.
why is
Right, yeah. hmm
it's because there's that lack of, but also she has to work so much harder to prove herself. She has to be more seriously. But I think it was, I'm so bad with names, but Alex Hermosi's wife, Layla.
Yeah.
So she talks about how, like, one of the benefits of women is that, or being a woman, is that, like, men just want to help you.
Yeah.
So, like, if
Mhm.
you go into a room being like, "Ah, they don't take me seriously, like, they're not gonna play up that feminine charm, let them give you all their secrets,
Oh, hell
like,
yeah.
wrap them around your little
Yeah.
finger, like, that's just, like, the best, and I'm like, "Manipulation? Hell yeah!" I'm like, "I could do that, that's great." So, yeah.
Play into the flirting a little bit and
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, because it's 100% true.
But that's what good business is, it is kind of just flirting.
That's pretty much most of business is just flirting.
Yeah, I
It
mean, flirting isn't the term you would use, but if you think about, let's say, just like in a group of like men who are just hanging out,
well, synonymous, I'll say.
they're like roasting each other and they're just bantering.
hmm
They're just being playful, but at the same time, they're getting shit done,
Yeah.
you know?
hmm Yeah, because that's how it's 100% a guy thing, especially me and all my buddies. It's like the typical of me and my buddies know that we love each other for constantly talking shit on each other, like
Right.
no matter how good or how bad something
But
is.
is that not what bantering is,
Oh,
anyways? And isn't
100%.
that like kind of what flirting is?
hmm And that's 1,000% what me and all my buddies are. It's like we'll talk the most shit to each other. Second they turn their back, it's like I love that dude.
Right. Because it's like you want people who in the room are going to like push you the hardest and say what they want you to work on. But then like behind closed doors, like they're the ones who are like, you got to work with this guy. He's amazing. You got, just doing those connecting things.
hmm
People want to work with people they like.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
So like that's something really big that I'm learning at the coffee shop that I'm working at right now is like kindness, which I know sounds wild, but I was kind of going into like my little like alpha bitch moment where like, and I'm sure as a business owner you could relate to this, nickel and diming sometimes.
Yeah. hmm
But then it's like you have to be careful not to give too many freebies and stuff away.
Right.
But
Yeah.
small things can create. Can I tell you a small thing I do at the coffee shop that
Yeah.
people go, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs over.
Yeah.
So let's say, for example, you come into the coffee shop and you've got some work that you need to do, so you're going to be hanging around. You sit down at the table with your cup of coffee. First of all, if I'm not too busy, I'll bring the cup of coffee to you. That already is like snaps. And then we'll go and bring you a cup of water.
hmm Yeah, just that small.
Just water.
hmm
People are like,
Yeah.
so nice.
You're like, you
Literally.
didn't have to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally.
hmm
I'm like, no, I know.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, it's just those small little things
Yeah.
can make a huge difference.
Right. Or even like at the farmer's market, something I, the first farmer's market that I did, I was so nickel and diming every little thing. I had these like stickers with my logo on it. And someone was like, oh, can I have a sticker? I'm like, it's $1.
Yeah.
And now I give them away for free with every cup. And people are like, oh, a sticker.
Yeah. So for example of well, it's kind of those things like give an inch, they want a mile, like one of those things. There's a lady at Fit Fest that came. So there was this lady that came to Fit Fest and had this giant bag, which I was like leading the class, so I didn't see her walk in. And apparently she walked in and first vendor she sees, she's like, "Yeah, my boyfriend said to come down here because there's a bunch of free stuff that I can grab." And I was like, "Oh," I was like, "I'm glad I wasn't over there because I'm like, no, like get beat. There's nothing free." Like, which it's one where like you want to give people free stuff, but if that's like the way that you're announcing it, it's like just taking advantage of
Okay, so
people that.
let's take a step back for a moment.
Mhm.
What's the purpose of FitFest?
So the whole purpose, at least from my perspective, it's more or less like a giant marketing, kind of like a marketing plan, like for us. Um, but really, it's for a lot of the vendors kind of also getting like their business out, but it's kind of having this big collective piece here. But it just helps with they're telling all their friends, they're telling all their friends, we're telling all of our people. So they get exposure to some of these other companies, but it's more or less for us because like we can also get views from people that are in person and stuff on social media. It just helps us get like brand awareness out.
Yeah.
So that's how I view it because like we don't make like a penny off of any of it. But I like to have it just for more or less like a marketing idea, just kind of get the name out. Um, it's like shout out to Firth and then STL Girl Network for setting all that up. They've done amazing 2 years in a row. So hopefully we can keep it going. But they seems like they like to have the repeat like annual party of it. But it's been awesome so far.
Yeah, so the first year they did it, you were really new.
Yeah. Yeah. So it'd have been 6 months in. Would have been the first one. There was like 600-ish people.
Okay. So what was the results after the first Fit Fest for your business? Like, how did you see
So it was wait, we actually got it's like I never planned on like people like signing up, getting a gym membership, all the stuff like day of.
plan that? That would have
No,
been like my whole thing. I would have been like clipboard out, like,
yeah, because like I was like kind of thinking like if they do great, I'm like, but I was like I just want to tell people about us and just kind of plant that seed in their head for if it's down the road, then they may come back. Um, so like it was kind of more of that, but I think we end up getting like 15, 20 memberships off of it. And then also like places like BFT closed, Force Performance closed.
well, STL Girls Network is huge.
Yeah, it's massive.
And it's so cool because one of the founders, Sydney,
hmm
she just, was a girl's girl. And she moved to St. Louis and she just wanted friends, wanted to hang out. And then it just, people are lonely.
Yeah, and you never
Boom.
know where that stuff can just lead to.
Yeah.
I think on Facebook there's like
Eight
60,000 plus people last I looked.
Instagram, I think it's like 86,000. That's
Yeah, like that's
crazy.
especially for something that's just local to St. Louis too. Like that's pretty big.
Yeah. They have a lot of like offshoots of like things that they do within that.
Right.
So,
hmm
yeah.
Yeah, so that's where like the Fit Fest outreach has been huge. Like utilizing them and also with Firth, like it's been huge blessing so
Hmm.
far with being able to host them and just kind of getting our name out too. It's been great so far.
Yeah. So I'm curious from a marketing perspective, like what do you think has been like the best like ROI for you?
Um, I'd say probably, I mean, other than Fit Fest, I would say probably word of mouth. Because like our family's always like givers, so like we try to make it as easy as possible. Um, Speaking of marketing, that's like a little pitch, but we try to make it as easy as possible. So like it's all month to month stuff. There's no contracts, like the typical corporate gym stuff. And also like members that refer anybody, they get 2 weeks free gym membership. So if you refer two people, you'd have a month free. So it's like it keeps compounding. So I think it's a mix of people wanting to help out a small business and also the mix of like, well, I want free shit. It's like, so if I get my friends in here, I'll get free shit. So I think that's also been a big thing. So the referrals have worked pretty great too, with at least giving some incentive to people, instead of just being like, "Hey, can you refer this?" and I'll give you a pat on the back. It's like,
No one's gonna do that.
yeah, it's like we'll give you a pat on the back and a shirt and 2 weeks free.
Yeah, no, I've heard this before too. Like, I actually heard recently someone say that that was like their best marketing was when you do the referrals, where
Right.
it's like
Hmm.
bring a friend and then it's free for you.
Right. Yeah.
Those work very, very well.
Yeah. Like those have been the best as far as like maybe not like lead generation amount, but as far as like great leads, like qualified leads, that's by far been the best.
Right. Well, people need to experience it too. And like I said, especially when it comes to like the gym, people
Hmm.
kind of are set in their routines.
Yeah. Hmm.
So moving to a new gym, like there has
Hmm.
to be, although some people like to bounce around gyms.
Yeah. Yeah. Some people like to just keep switching up and go place to place, which I mean, I can understand. You know, it's always nice to have a switch up every once in a while.
Yeah. No, it's funny because one of the trainers that I had at one point, he specifically goes to different gyms
Hmm.
just to talk to people,
Oh yeah.
and just like to kind of get that natural networking going where like
Hmm.
he's just really trying to build something here in St. Louis. And it's funny because when we first met, my whole thing about the gym, like my biggest fear was that people would talk to me. I was like, oh my God, I'm here.
Yeah.
Like, I'm supposed to talk to people too. Like, I can't do two things at once. It's crazy. Like my raging ADD. Like there was one day when because the problem, not a problem, but the thing with RFT that it's been a new experience for me is that like already going to the gym, I knew people. And I've been like slowly kind of chitter chattering with like different people too. But there was like one time where I went and I like ended up talking to someone for like an hour, and then I saw someone else that I knew and I started chit chatting, and I hadn't even started my workout yet. And then I was
Mm.
like, oh God. Oh,
Yeah.
and then I was like mid talking to someone, I'm like, listen, you're great, but I can't do this anymore. So like I can't do this anymore. I'm like, I can't. I need to just put myself in timeout. And I'm gonna just put my earbuds in because otherwise this won't happen.
Yeah, and like you almost feel bad because you don't want to like just cold shoulder someone they're mid sentence. You're like, okay, bye.
I've been doing that a lot more recently.
But also should have that ability if it's like starting to linger on too much. You're like, okay, I got to do my stuff.
Well, you know what's interesting? From this podcast, I was just telling my mom this. I was like, I used in one of my early 20s, I was really into like this kind of conversation, like deep conversations, talking about like what set your soul on fire, like what do you want out of life? Like, and I still love these, don't get me wrong, it's why I'm doing this. But it is so exhausting to do them like all the time. And like through being a barista, I've learned like the brilliance and like the power of the small talk
Hmm.
and building rapport even just through the small talk. And sometimes it's like I have a friend, we don't really talk about anything deep.
Hmm.
I don't know what we talk about. I really don't. But like it's just shooting the shit. You know?
And it's even like well, even that small talk goes a long way too, especially if it's like a customer or a client. Like if they even give you a small detail and you remember that next time, they appreciate the hell out of that.
Totally.
Like someone comes in like, "Oh, how's your Labrador named Fred doing?" They're like, or even the yeah, or even like the water thing. Like people, that small detail, people will absolutely love.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just like kind of finding that balance too.
Hmm.
But I'm like, wow, life is so much nicer when you don't just have to have deep conversations all the
Oh yeah, yeah. Cause like for me, I have to remember those small details because I absolutely suck at names. I'm horrible at names. Well, being like Taylor training for a month in Dallas, and I was like, you, you.
I used to be much better at names, but like to be fair, to give yourself a little grace too,
Mhm.
once you start being in a kind of industry where you're meeting so many people,
Yeah. Mhm.
it's on them to make themselves memorable enough
Oh, hell yeah.
that you know their
100%.
names, you know? So it's okay.
Yeah, so it's like I've given myself a little bit more leeway with that.
I think I'm a little bit luckier than you because I have a complicated name. So most people don't remember my name, but then like that actually is helpful for them because like I'll be like, it's a hard name. Like, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, but you know what? Thank God because I don't know your name either. So I'm like, let's start again every time. I'm like, let's just make this happen.
I feel like the worst is when someone remembers my name and I don't remember theirs. I'm like, I'm a terrible person. Like,
Yeah, hey, bud.
person.
Yeah. No, literally. We had a family friend who said that's just a man thing also. He was saying the men are just like worse at like remembering names.
Short-term memory is
Right. And that's why
awful.
he was like, that's why, especially like with girls, guys will be like, hey, babe, or like, what's up? Like all those nicknames. It's not
Yeah.
because there's anything like necessarily sweet. It's just because it's just like, don't know your name, but like, know your energy. So,
Yeah, it's like especially if a guy says usually like, hey man, or what's up, man? A lot of times they forgot your name.
but do you find, because I feel like I have this recently where it's like, I won't remember the person's name. I'll remember that they had like a dog named Fred
Yeah.
or that they just had a test that they were passing. Like, I like those kinds of things I'll remember. Like, I don't know all these crazy details about your life, but your name?
Yeah, that's what those little pieces are way easier for me to remember than anything else.
Yeah,
Like the names, yeah, I'm fried at that. There's no shot I'm getting it.
it's okay.
Like I have to meet someone 3 or 4 times before I'm like, that's who you are.
I'm curious to know, going back, so I love looking for new guests. You have great energy, but there was an article that you had posted on your Instagram story, which was what sparked this whole thing. Because I'm like, oh, he puts himself out there publicly. Great,
Yeah.
like great. And then I remember reading it. And I'm like, there was one like line in there, like from the whole article. There's just like one thing that like stuck out to me, and it was like you could always turn like shit into sugar. I was like, hell yeah, you can.
Yeah.
That's so great. Perspective is huge. So where did that? I mean, not where did the phrasing come from, but like for
Right.
you, like why is that?
Well, I mean, I've always been kind of like just optimistic in general. Like whether it's having like optimism or I mean really just being humble, like whatever situation you're given, like there can always be some light made out of it.
Totally.
So it's kind of why I also got into like stoicism because it's also just I mean, you can have emotion, but it's really just not putting it on display, kind of putting it to the side and staying calm, working through it. So I think that's where I resonate mostly with that is anything bad that can happen, there's some sort of good that can come out of it. Like
Yes.
there's opportunity in absolutely everything. Like
Serve you well as an entrepreneur and business.
oh, 1000%. Like COVID, sure it's bad for the majority of people, but some people saw an opportunity with it.
Hmm.
You know, starting like an online business or they lost their 9 to 5 because they can go in physically, so they had to make something up. Like there's opportunity in everything.
Right. I'm a big believer that life is working out for you.
Right.
So like for me, I'm really into like Kabbalah, which is like like Jewish mysticism and spirituality. The whole main thing about it is that like similar to Stoicism, but it's like learning to not be reactive in a negative way. So any negative energy that you could think of, like being sad, depressed, anxious, angry, frustrated, any of those things, in that moment, giving yourself the grace to be like, what I'm feeling right now is human.
Hmm.
And I heard this quote recently, which was, you can't control your first thought, but you can control your second,
Right.
which
Hmm.
I really liked because it's like eventually, actually, your first thought does change with enough mindset training, you
Right.
know?
Right. With enough practice with it. And,
Yeah. But in that first moment, I'm just like, okay,
hmm.
feel your feels, but like don't react in a
Right.
way that you're going to regret.
Um,
When I was at the gym once, I think I was like, so here's the thing with posting on social, right?
mm,
I have 3 accounts.
Mhm.
on Instagram. I've got my personal account, I've got my podcast account, and then I've got my Le Cafe coffee account.
Mhm.
Which, by the way, we're drinking my dark roast. It's a Sumatra, and it's very good.
Plug.
You can buy it at lecafe.us. 10% goes to a different charity every month. Okay. Life is fast, but every now and then you deserve a pause, a moment that's just for you. At Le Cafe, we believe that each cup of coffee should taste like a little bit of luxury. Handcrafted and locally roasted here in St. Louis, each of our single origin beans are carefully selected to give you the most unique and smoothest experience. Whether you like a light, medium, or dark roast, we got you. For those busy mornings, or for my coffee lovers who prefer efficiency, we also have K-Cups. So go ahead and pour yourself a cup that tastes like self-care. Visit www.lecafe.us to bring the cafe experience home. Le Cafe, you deserve it. I have raging ADD and I'm an Aries and I have zero patience. And I am not one of those people that like understands algorithms and times and strategy. I'm like, fuck strategy. I am the algorithm. I will post when it brings me joy. And if that's at 9:30 p.m., then people will find it. It's fine. Because it's like, that's just my new thing. I'm like, I'm not going to let social media stress me out. Because that's how you get burnout. So
Yeah, it's like it has to be at this time on this day for this audience, and
I'm
like
not organized enough for that. You know what I mean? Like,
it's a lot of extra stress.
unless I had a team who did it, let them do it. Maybe one day that'd be great.
Yeah.
But until
Mhm.
then, it's going to be posted when it brings me joy. And if I'm excited about something, it's going out.
Right. Mhm.
And the people who need to find it will find it.
Right, yeah, exactly.
I'm a bigger believer in energy. And that's all there is to it.
Yeah, because I know there's there for a while, or I've heard like mixed reviews of it. Doesn't matter when you post it, just kind of matters what. Because there for a while, and it was like, I mean, granted, don't post stuff at like 3 a.m., but
Done it.
yeah, and it's a thing. Like
And
if
it's been fine. You know what it is? Alex Hormozy said this. I believe it was him. He was talking about like when you're posting on socials and like you're not getting any engagement, but you're like think that your posts are so great or whatever. They're not.
right,
Because if they were, you would get
they'd be doing
engagement.
well. Yeah,
Right. So it's a combination of two things. I think it's about people finding you because I've found that as my accounts have grown in followers, I've gotten more engagement, but also like I believe in immersion therapy.
hmm
I was off Instagram for a whole year when I was 23. No intention ever going back on because of this podcast.
hmm
Had to go back on. And then last year I decided, well, I suck at this whole reel thing. So on my personal page, no one gives a shit. It's my personal page. If you don't like it, don't follow me.
right, yeah.
So I literally turned everything into a reel. Just documenting my life. Went through the car wash, put on some inspirational music, slept on a quote. You know what I mean? Just to learn. And so it's funny because like I remember some of the beginning reels that I started doing. I thought I was like so great and I was so proud of them. And I'm looking back and I'm like, holy, I am getting whiplash because I was so nervous to take the videos that I was like, and then time lapsing it to 10, you know? And I'm like, wow, this is really nauseating to watch. And I'm like, but I remember being so proud. But you have to suck first.
Oh, 1,000. Yeah, and that's how, I mean, you just have to find out. Like, someone thinks they're gonna do anything and be great right away. They're out of their minds unless they're insanely gifted. Like, you still have to go out there. You have to suck one way or another. Like, you have to be pretty bad at something and then start to learn the curves of it, then get better at it, grow, and yeah, there's a lot of elements to, well, like running a business, doing anything. Like, you have to be bad at quite a bit of it and then figure it out. Like what's the quote? Entrepreneurship or running a business is like jumping out of a plane and building a parachute on the way down. It's
Mm.
1,000% what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, because the thing is, you're not going to know what you need to fix until you're there. Like, you're never going to be 100% prepared. And, like, you also have to just, I think it's really more of, I quote like Alex Hormozy a lot because he just has like such great stuff.
Yeah,
And, I-
I love Formosi.
and he said this thing once where like, you confidence is not something you have like first. That comes afterwards when you have like undeniable proof
Mhm.
because you've just done the thing. So like, yeah, now I'm confident because work towards this and I know I can do this. But
Right.
what's cool is when you keep putting yourself in those situations that you're afraid of, um, you start to get this like undeniable like self faith in yourself where even if you put yourself in something where it's like it's still normal, you still get nervous, whatever, but you're like, but I have all this proof, all these other hard things that I've done, and I've been okay, and I trust that everything's figured outable.
Right.
I'll
Hmm.
figure it out.
It's like kind of it almost becomes like a law of attraction
Do it
almost.
scared too.
Hmm.
It's huge.
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah.
Immersion therapy. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you have to. I mean, you have to jump in,
Yeah.
like to learn how to do it.
Do you know how bad my ADD is? The whole point of this whole tangent was that I was going to tell you that I love the couches.
So,
That brown couch. I don't know why. Like, what was the time that I sat down to like do something on my phone? And I was like, this is nice. I also have an addiction to your water at the gym.
oh yeah,
It's the
yeah.
best water. You should join the gym just for the water. RFT.
And also, you can get the futons at Sam's.
Really?
Yeah.
LOL. You're so, is that what it is? Futon? Okay.
Yeah.
Classic
Well,
like that.
technically a futon, but they are nice couches though.
It's so comfy. It's really problematic because I'll be sitting there and I'll be like, I do have things I could be doing on my phone right now. Cool.
Oh, and
Okay.
the chairs are from IKEA. The chairs are pretty nice too.
Have I sat in the chairs? I don't know. It's that like leather brown, like tan couch.
Yeah, it's that well, there's like the tan couches, like those are from Sam's, and then the two chairs, those are from IKEA. It has like the brown wood. I mean, it's like a faux wood, but it has like that blue cushion. They're like kind of angled at the
Yeah.
table. Like those are super comfy. I've fallen asleep on those probably like 10 times.
Sleep.
Yeah.
This is what I dream of. I dream of sleeping. And it's the thing that I push off the most.
Yeah, that's same here.
But
Get too
it's,
excited to sleep that I can't actually sleep.
yeah. Well, also my problem is I'll drink coffee sometimes because it's like so yummy. Yeah, I just think the space that you've created is so cool. And I think like even just taking this moment here
Mhm.
to just be like, you did the thing, you're doing the thing,
Yeah.
and that's
Hmm.
huge.
Yeah, because there was like a like after like the 1 year mark, it was kind of like, well, like people saying like, "Oh, it's a great space," all this, and so I get that response from like, "Oh, it's something." Like it wasn't until then. There was like a week later. I was like kind of reflecting. I was like, "This is fucking crazy." It was like then it kind of hit, and then it was one a week later. I was like, "Ah, we could do so much better."
Mm,
But there's like every once in a while I get that reflection from like, "This is nuts." I was like,
yeah,
"I can't believe this is happening." But it's
right.
always good to have that reflection of, well, the fact they give that response of like, "Oh yeah, we could do a lot better," but still having to where it's like, "Oh, we've come a long way."
Yeah. And I think, even in terms of like when you're talking to other people, you can just be like, yeah, I'm really grateful.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Do you know?
Yeah.
It's not like you're saying you're can't do more. It's just like you're grateful
Mhm.
that you're here.
Oh yeah, because I never take it for granted at all. There's not a single instance that could. We could have 100 of them, and I would still be super grateful for it.
What's the big picture dream?
Well, big picture dream would be, well, at least in the 5 year plan, it's one in Florida, one in my hometown, one in Texas. That would be like the 5 year.
So why Florida and Texas? You were there, but why Florida?
So Florida, well, other than tax purposes, my business partner, he's from Florida, but he wants to live in Florida. His wife doesn't really want to 'cause she's like, we don't have much business there. And he's like, okay. And it's a typical like wife runs the roost kind of thing. Um, so like he wants to go back there, but he needs a reason to like move back there. So um, I want to have one there so like he can go there and just kind of expand. Um, I mean, really, if we have five or 100, like 1,000, like it'd be not all the same, but it would be the same because really I just want to give a space of clients or members coming in. It's super convenient with like the no cancellation, all that. Like that'll stay tried and true forever. But also giving trainers a space where they can make basically like develop like their own business within. Um, if they just love training, that's fine. They'd still make 25% more at our location than any like corporate gym. Essentially, unless they ran their own thing, if they ran their own thing, of course they'd make more, but you also have to put an ungodly amount of money front. So that's where we're trying to be the umbrella of providing the space for them and they can develop their own business without having the crazy startup cost,
Yeah.
essentially. So like the long-term goal is just if we have a bunch of locations, great. If not, not the end of the world, but really just trying to have a space for convenience for members and also for coaches, trainers to have a space where they can develop their own business and of course still make money
Right.
from it. But they don't have to charge an ungodly amount of money to their client just because most of the gyms are taking a high majority of the rate of what they're charging.
Right. So I'm curious because I feel like this is just true of life in general, but
Hmm.
also just from like a business owner and entrepreneur's perspective.
Hmm.
So obviously, like you look back on time and
Hmm.
like see the good, you could see the bad, you could see the shit, you could see the sugar.
Hmm.
But on a day to day, what would you say is like the most exciting thing about it? Now, obviously, some days are just days.
Yeah.
Not everything is super exciting.
Mhm. I think really it's just first thing getting up in the morning and just, I mean, it legit, there's a lot of work, but it never feels like work. I think that's by far the most exciting thing of whether if I just have to do like phone calls all day or cold calls or a bunch of sessions, like it's all the same, but it's all exciting knowing that this is all something that me and my business partner created. So it's like honestly, it's all exciting just getting up in the morning and not having the feeling of like, "Ugh, I'm going to a dead end job. I hate my boss. I hate all this." So I think the most exciting thing is just knowing that where I'm going is like our thing and we're just continuing
Building
to
it.
grow it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's by far the best thing because I don't get up in the morning and I'm like, this place sucks.
Right.
But sometimes I do that if,
But even if there is something that sucks, you're the one who could fix it.
right. Yeah. And
It's just a
that's
matter of figuring it out, and that's exciting.
right. And that's what I just love, like just figuring stuff out too. Because it also helps me for down the road or if somebody else has a problem like that, I can always help in one aspect or another.
Yeah. So talking back to like when you were saying you didn't feel like you deserved a vacation. So like taking a moment to like let go of all the responsibilities. Like what would be like your dream like I want to enjoy life and do something for me.
Mm, I would
Like it's like
say,
your bucket list item, right? Like Kilimanjaro, for example, was
hmm
something where I'm like, I know I'm about to start this whole entrepreneur journey and it's gonna
hmm
need me to be there like day in, day out. So like let me do one last
hmm
big hurrah.
yeah.
Because I only want to just take off 2 weeks or 3 weeks to go travel the world.
I think mine would be really just having like house, land, and then an RV to just go wherever. Like kind of just check the country out. Like just a long road trip that's
Was that you who posted? Maybe it was Josh. Josh posted on his story where he was like, if you watch the news, you'll be disappointed in America, but if you want to love America, take a road trip.
I think Josh probably would have posted that. But I think I've seen that though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's honestly super true. Because I know that's well, also my dad's dream is when he retires, get a new truck, get a fifth wheel camper, and just go check the country out. I'm pretty jealous. It's like, and this is 63-year-old man's dream, and I'm 29 going, oh, I want to do that.
I think that kind of desire has worked out for you in the past.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. It's like even well next year me and my dad are planning on going on like it's like an enduro trip, so it's like street legal dirt bike. Um it's a trail that goes from Los Angeles to New York City. And so
Cool.
we're planning on doing that next year,
Is that
but
like the back end roads and stuff?
yeah. Yeah,
That's
so it's
so
like
cool.
take a bunch of trails, back roads and stuff. But we're not gonna do the whole thing right away, but we're gonna break it up in segments of 10 days. Start in New York City, however far we get, go back home next year. We'll do the same thing 10 days, just try to slowly work through it.
So cool.
Yeah, so that's like at least the next big trip that I have planned is we're gonna go buy a couple of motorcycles. As soon as we buy it, within a couple days we're going out and doing that. So it'll be a good like father son bonding time and also it's just both what we want to do.
boss is like super like guy's guy.
Hmm.
He had us read like one of the Stoics is part of it was Roman Marcus Aurelius.
Aurelius, yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yep. So he had us read books too.
Oh yeah, because he's the one that we suffer more often in our imagination than reality. He's the one that
He's
says
the one
that.
who says that. Okay, so I just remember the one thing from that book was he talks about how he had like he was like the world's greatest emperor and warrior, right? And he would hire a slave to like whisper in his ear all the time, like, "You're just a man, you're just a man, you're just a man." Which again goes back to full circle our beginning the conversation, like that male female polarity energy, because women were like, "We're goddesses, we're the best, we're the
Hmm.
greatest." But in high school, actually, um, yeah, I'll share this. So I went to a super religious high school, all girls, right? So we had life skills and we had marriage classes and we had all these kinds of things that are like very traditional that I don't think you would find in a typical public school, let's say. So in one class, we had a whole speech on how like the differences between like men and women.
Hmm.
So men are at the bottom of the ladder
Hmm.
and their whole role and energy in life is to like attain.
Right.
And women
Hmm.
are at the top of the ladder and our whole role in life is to maintain.
Right.
But guys are
Hmm.
inherently lazy
Hmm.
and then they'll try to bring you down. But it's just a test and maintain yourself and like
Right.
because
Hmm.
they won't respect you if you don't. That was the whole basis on this. Why am I sharing this? Because it goes back to that whole concept of like I think just energetically like men being like, oh, I don't deserve this. I need to work harder. I need to work harder. And women were
I
like,
need to do better. I need better. Like,
we're like, and I think like women hear that and we're like, oh, a little self love would help you so much. It's like you'll be fine. I don't understand that energy at all. It's like I think it's a human thing to like maybe feel like, oh, I could be doing better.
right. Yeah.
But I think
Hmm.
I just know like in the women's circles that I'm in, a lot of us are all just like whenever we get into that mentality, because we still have that mentality too, we're always just like the way we encourage each other is like, no, but you're doing so great.
Right. Yeah.
Like you're so amazing. And like coming from that kind of, but I don't think that kind of talk really would drive a man.
No. No, not at all. Usually with guys, it's kind of like, you're an idiot. Why aren't you doing better for yourself? It's usually more of that. Like
Yeah.
somewhat everybody's different, but somewhat self-deprecating a little bit
Yeah.
is that's what I think the internal dialogue usually
Versus
is.
I just saw a reel where a girl was saying about how like she's like, you know what? This is the year where I don't have to work hard to get everything that I want. I deserve it. I just get what I want. And I was like, hell yeah. Yeah. Just bring it to me. And like what's crazy, talking about law of attraction, whenever I've been in that energy space where like I don't I trust the timing of my life. I don't want anything because even if I don't have something that I want, I know that life is working out for me
Right.
and
Mhm.
it's all going to happen at the right time. So of course, everything that happens to me, even if it seems bad, I'm like, turn that shit into sugar. I'm like, I don't logically see how this is benefiting me right now, but I know with certainty beyond logic
Mhm.
that everything's working out.
Right, and it might be something for later that does end up helping you out.
It does. I think that's what I enjoy about getting older. Not that we're both the same age. We're not that old by any means,
Right.
but I'm starting to do you feel it?
Yeah, I definitely well, I see it a little bit too. I've been getting a lot more grays
Do
and
you?
yeah, I think 2 years ago I had one and now I have like 15 of them or something. Not that I
Mm.
individually counted, but my barber was kind of going,
Oh,
she's like,
damn.
she's like, big silver fox here soon. I was like, yeah, maybe.
My dad turned silver when he was like 16.
16?
Yeah, I was real scared to turn 16. I was like, is that gonna happen to me? But I'm okay for it,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm gonna have to wig it out. Like,
Well, we do in our culture. When you get married, like
really?
Jewish women cover, well, I mean, depends on how strict you are, but yes,
Right.
they'll wear the wigs.
Is that like well, it depends if like you're Orthodox or something,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
Hmm.
Correct. And then like as you get more modern, like I think where I'm holding is we call it Jews for joy. So, so it's like there's so much of like my heritage and my culture and my faith that like means so much to me and I love. And whatever means something to me, I keep, and whatever doesn't, it's a journey.
Hmm.
I don't say never because when you say never, then it happens. So
Oh,
I'd rather just say it's a journey.
yeah. Yeah. Definitely don't say never.
Yeah.
That's exactly when it'll happen.
Yeah, that's why I'm just like, it's a journey. Everything happens when it's supposed to happen. But in terms of covering your hair, I mean, hell yeah, I'm gonna get a wig down to my butt. Get one of those Russian thick wigs. Hell yeah. I'll be a redhead one day, a blonde the next. You never know. You'll never see me coming. This is my dream. And also, like, can you imagine, like, not that you have to deal with this, but like in the morning, all I do is just toss on the salon quality hair that's like done,
Mhm. Basically, just like being a dude. You just wake up, throw some water,
but
done.
better.
But better, yeah.
But better. This has been so great. I want to be respectful of your time. So I have this tradition at the end of every podcast. So this whole podcast is based on this Hebrew quote, which is Eza Chacham Halamei Mikol Adam, which means one who is wise is one who learns from everyone. We learned a lot from you today. So if you can share your favorite quotable quotes.
Oh, yeah, definitely be the Marcus Aurelius one where it's we suffer more often in imagination than reality.
Yeah,
So it's like if you have anxiety about something, it's going to happen anyways. There's no reason to like get in sort of the mental gymnastics about it. It's gonna happen. Let it happen. It's just putting on a brave face whenever it does happen and then learning from it.
and sometimes it doesn't happen. And also, like, I feel like it's never as bad.
Hmm.
It's like your fear,
Right.
if that
Hmm.
makes sense. Going back to our earlier topic of like trusting yourself and that you can handle whatever you need to handle.
Hmm. And then if it's like even an event that's coming up, there's a bunch of anxiety, like I get there's like a stage fright, whatever, someone has it, but it's like it's gonna happen anyways, no matter how good or bad, just let it happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like trying to have that let go sort of feeling. So like letting go of control, you know,
So much better when you do that.
oh, so much better.
My friend and I, we do that a lot.
Hmm.
Just we do that with our hands.
Hmm. Yeah, it's like in high school, whenever like I would give like book reports, speeches, whatever, most terrifying shit on the planet
Yeah.
is like, I mean now I'm like a social butterfly. It's like learned behavior for me because naturally I'm like introverted. I like being
Are you?
weirdly enough. Um, but my mom's traits start to take over. But naturally I'm introverted to myself, riding my dirt bike in the woods, like all that stuff. That's that's what I love. Just being out in nature, all that. Um, but it was like so doing like book reports and all that stuff, going up there, clammy hands, sweating. Then I started learning, I was like, I gotta be the first one. I gotta be the first one to go. I was like, if I'm the last one or we have four people doing a report, I'm the fourth one. When they're presenting, I don't hear shit that's going on. I'm sitting there going, oh, how do I? Okay, I'm gonna go. Then you get up there, bombed tons of times. So like going up there, fly through all of it, don't take the pauses I need. Supposed to be like a 5 minute talk, matter for like 45 seconds. I'm like, uh, yep, so that's pretty much it. Like awful. So like I started learning of be the first one, set the bar, even if it's at the floor, whatever, it's done. I have no time to think about it. And it got so much better from that. So I'd volunteer. I'm like, me, screw her. I'm going. I'm going now. Like, I gotta get this done.
Yeah, immersion therapy is huge too. Like constantly putting yourself in those situations. Babes in business, so once a month they meet, and we sit in a circle, and a lot of times there's new faces, and it's like we're all waiting to introduce ourselves, talk about our business, and like all these little things.
Mhm.
Like those type of environments, like you can feel your heart beating so fast.
All the time.
Heat rushes to your face. You can't feel
Start
your
getting a little
tongue.
red and
Oh, it's
it's
so
like, I need some water.
and even that, you're like, I'm gonna drink the water and it's gonna splash my face. That happens to me too.
So I've
Just like what, and then you're just so aware of your body. Then when you're aware of your body that way, just like anything that flails will flail. Like it's just the worst. But like I realized recently because I've been going to these babes in business every month since last December, I don't get nervous in big circles when I introduce myself anymore. Like hell yeah.
yeah, then you start to think you're like, why was I ever like that? What was the point?
That's the crazy thing about fear. So when I turned 20, I used to have a lot of anxiety and be really shy myself. And so I made this promise to myself, kind of like yes man, like Jim Carrey, within reason, I say yes to everything.
Right.
Within reason, I say, because I'm not here trying to like have drugs.
Mhm.
But but yeah, if it seems like I'm scared, but I see like the benefit of how it could, you know, make me better.
Mhm.
Also, are you familiar? You are Bill Burr?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm like, it's the
Yeah.
type. It's the
Yeah.
type.
Bill Burr is
There's
hilarious.
an interview that he did. I all you know what I love? I love when you see comedians on interviews where it's like not their show. You just see them in their natural element and like they just are that person.
Yeah. And Bill Burr is that 1000% no matter where he is.
So he was in an interview and he was like, sitting in like his typical fashion where he's just like,
Yeah, I just kind of kick
he's
back and
so chill. He's like, it's all gonna work out. And even if it's not gonna work out, isn't it better to say that it's all gonna work out? And
yeah,
then when
yeah,
it doesn't
yeah.
work out, you figure it out.
Yeah, he's like, isn't it just better to think that it is gonna work itself out anyways?
Yeah, this has been great.
Yeah, I'll say it's been awesome.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody should come join your gym.
1000%.
Yes. Okay. Do all the shout outs for your gym.
1530 South Kings Highway, Ready Fitness Training, 24/7 gym, personal training. We have a RFT Plus strength training class. Day passes for $11. Can be used as credit towards your membership. Keep hearing the mics here. I was almost blocking it. Um, any referrals you have, 2 weeks free of gym membership. Let's come by and try it.
Yeah. I'll be there most days.
Yeah.
Yeah, this has been so great.
Mhm.
Guys, if you're not already watching the video, this episode can be found on Spotify or YouTube, but please go to YouTube because if I get 1,000 subscribers, I start getting paid. And if you're not already subscribed, what are you doing with your life? And I hope you guys love this episode. Please share it with a friend, and I hope you have a great week. Let's get it. Let's go.